Hello everyone, welcome to the LMS section online classes. So today in this particular session we are going to discuss about brick masonry. Myself, Jivita TP, lecturer in Civil Engineering Department, LV Government Polytechnic, Hassan. So let's have a recap of the previous session. So in this previous session, you people have gained knowledge regarding stone cladding work, procedure adopted for laying, general principles in stone masonry construction. So in this particular session, we are going to discuss about terms that are used in brick masonry as well as types of bonds in brick masonry, study of English bond and Flemish bond. And in the later session, we'll have some test session that is in the form of multiple choice question. So this particular picture shows the brick masonry. So now let's start with the terms that are used in the brick masonry. So first thing we need to understand is what is masonry? So masonry means it is the art of building the structure using either stones, bricks or concrete blocks. So masonry means it is the art of building the structure using stones, bricks or concrete blocks. So brick masonry means if the structure is built with bricks bonded together with mortar, then it is called brick masonry. So the next term is the course. So course means, see here you can observe in this particular picture, there are so many layers of bricks has been laid. So come to the first layer. This is the first layer of bricks. This is the second layer of bricks. So the horizontal layer of brick, okay, the horizontal layer of bricks is called course. So this is the first course, second course, third course, fourth course. So course means it is the horizontal layer of brick. So the next term is the bed. So bed means here in this picture you can observe the lower surface of a brick on which they rest in a course is known as the bed. Okay, so the lower surface of a brick on which they rest in a course is known as bed. The next term is the joint. So what is joint? So the place where, so observe here, so the place where two or more bricks meet is called as the joint. So what is bed joint? Next term is the bed joints. So bed joints means, so the joints between successive courses of bricks are known as the horizontal or bed joints. Next term is the backing. So backing means, again we'll take the same picture example. So just imagine this is the external face and this side is the internal face. So facing means whatever the material that is used for the face of the wall, that is called as the facing. So whatever the material that is used for the internal face of the wall is called backing. So next term is the frog. So frog means it is a depression on the top of the top face of a brick. So you can observe there is a depression on this brick. So this is called as the frog, and usually the frog forms as a key and it just helps in preventing the displacement of the bricks that is placed above. Okay. Next term is the header. So here I have put one brick picture. So here, and it is mentioned also in the width wise I have put header and in the length wise I have mentioned stretcher. So header means the width of the brick is called as the header and the longer length of the long length face of the brick is called as the stretcher. So header means a brick laid flat with its width at the face of the wall is called header And stretcher means it is a full brick or stone which is laid with its length parallel to the face of the wall. Okay. Next term is the bond. So bond means what? It is the method of arranging the bricks in courses. Just look into this picture. So here we'll come to the first courses. Okay, just observe the first course, second course, third course, fourth course and fifth course. So here we can observe the structure facing is placed in the face of the wall. Again here also the structure facing is placed. So we'll look into the next courses. Again here also we can observe the structure facing is placed to the face of the wall. So bond means it is the method of arranging the bricks. So bond means it is the method of arranging the bricks in the courses. So that vertical joints of successive courses should not be in the same line. Here you can observe the first course joints are not in the same line. So the joint should not come over one over the other. So bond means it is the method of arranging the bricks. Okay. So is that clear? Bond is the method of arranging the bricks in courses in such a way that vertical joints should not come one over the other. Okay. Next term is the coins. What is coins? So this external corner or angles of a wall surface are called as the coins. Okay. The next term is the closure. What is closure? Closure means it is a portion of a brick with the cut made longitudinally. So if the cutting is made in the longitudinal section, then that is called as the closure. So let's discuss about types of closure so that you will understand better the closure. So queen closure. So queen closure means, so just now I said closure means it is the portion of a brick with the cut made longitudinally. So queen closure means half bricks. So just observe this picture. So in this full brick, what I have done is I have removed half of the brick and the remaining portion of the brick is called as the queen closure. Okay, and now again in this queen closure also you just made into, you just cut into half. Okay, so the remaining portion is called as the quarter queen closure. Okay. So the next term is the king closure. So what is king closure? So here we can observe, here in the full brick what we have done is we have removed the triangular portion. So once this triangular portion is removed and this remaining portion of a brick is called as the king closure. So the triangular piece is made between center of one end. Okay, center of one end and center of another side. So let's move on to the next term, that is beveled closure. So beveled closure means, just look into this picture. So whole length of the brick, okay, whole length of the brick is beveled for maintaining the half width at one end and full width at the other end. So beveled closure means at the one side the width is not disturbed and the whole length of the brick is beveled for maintaining half width at one end and full width at the other end. Okay, next one, it is the mitred closure. So what is mitred closure? So one end, you can observe here in the full brick what we have done is one end is cut splayed or mitred for the full width. Okay, the whole width is splayed at an angle of 45 to 60 degree till the longer edge. So next term is the bat. So bat means it is the portion of a brick that is cut across the width, or a brick that is cut by some fraction of its length. So bat means what? It is the portion of a brick. If the portion of a brick cut across width, then it is called as the bat. In closure, what we will do is we will just cut the longitudinal cut will be made. Bat means the widthwise the cutting will be made. Okay. So again in bat also there are so many brick bats are available. Like see, this was a full brick, and in this full brick what we have done is exactly half of the brick is removed in the widthwise. So then that is called as the half bat. And here also you can observe the quarter portion of the brick is removed widthwise, then the remaining portion is called as the 3/4 bat. And beveled bat means here from the center of the longer length, a spade is given to the other side at an angle of 45 degree, and that is called as the beveled bat. So next term is the toothing. So toothing means you can observe in this picture. So you can observe it is the termination of a wall in such a fashion that each alternate course, you can observe, each alternate course at the end projects. Each alternate course at the end projects is known as toothing. Probably it is it is usually adopted to provide adequate bond. Okay. Next term is the lap. So lap means, you can observe here, okay, come to this picture. So this is the vertical joint and this is the horizontal joint. So lap means it is the horizontal distance between the vertical joints of successive brick courses. So lap means it is the horizontal, just observe the mouse arrow, horizontal distance between the vertical joints of the successive courses. The next term is the perpend. So a perpend is an imaginary, so come to this picture now. Perpend means it is just an imaginary line, imaginary vertical line where it includes all the vertical joints. So it includes all the vertical joints that is separating two adjoining bricks. So this particular sketch shows the elevation of a brick wall, and already I discussed about coins. So coins means it is the external corner of a wall. So here so this is the first course is the stretcher course, and you can observe the vertical joints here. Okay, so this is the stretcher course, and this is the header course, and you can observe the toothing also. Then okay, here we can see the perpend. Perpend means what? It is an imaginary vertical line which joins the imaginary vertical line which includes the vertical joint that is separating the two adjoining bricks. Let's move on to the next slide, that is types of the bricks. Usually there are two types of bricks available, that is we call it as traditional bricks and modular bricks. And in traditional bricks, the nominal size is 23 centimeter by 11.4 centimeter by 7.6 centimeter. But when it comes to modular bricks, the nominal size is 20 by 10 by 10. So here, so this is the 20 centimeter, length side is the 20 centimeter. If it is modular brick, as per Bureau of Indian Standard, the nominal size is, this is including mortar thickness. So including mortar thickness, this side is, this is the 20 centimeter including mortar thickness, and this is 10 centimeter, and this is also 10 centimeter including mortar thickness. Next, the next slide, bonds in brick masonry. So we have already discussed what is bond. Okay, so bond means it is the systematic arrangement of the bricks, and that should be done in such a way that no vertical joints should come one over the other. So basically the types of bonds in brick masonry wall construction are classified based on the laying as well as the bonding style of bricks in walls. So what are the necessities of a good bond? So first thing, to ensure that vertical joints do not come one over the other, and to achieve a strong united mass of brickwork, and also to produce pleasing appearance of unplastered surface. So the next slide, it is types of bonds. So coming to the types of bonds, there are several bonds like stretcher bond, header bond, English bond, Flemish bond, English Flemish bond, double Flemish bond, garden wall bond, Dutch bond, zigzag bond, raking bond, and facing bond. So in this particular session, we'll just have a, we'll concentrate on stretcher bond, English bond, and stretcher, header, English, and Flemish. So what is stretcher bond? So in the initial slides only, we'll discuss about what is stretcher. So stretcher bond means if the bricks are laid with their length in the direction of the wall. You can observe this picture. Here we have placed bricks lengthwise. So the stretcher facing is placed to the face of the wall. So stretcher bond means if the stretcher faces is placed to the face of the wall or placed in the direction of the wall, if the length side is placed in the direction of the wall, then it is called stretcher bond. So usually, it is recommended for walls having a thickness of only half brick, because just now I said about the size of the brick, because this size is 10 centimeter, okay, and this is 20 centimeter including mortar thickness, and this is 10 centimeter including the mortar thickness. So here this is only half brick thick, okay, and that is why it is stretcher bond is usually used as partition walls or sleeper walls, and this is non-load bearing wall. Okay, in this slide I have included all the four views in one slide. So this is the isometric view, okay, and this is the elevation part. So since this is a stretcher bond, we can observe in the elevation. Come to the first course. This is the first course, this is the second course, third course, and fourth course. So in the first course, what we have done is, since this is a stretcher bond, stretcher facing is placed, or stretcher side is placed to the face of the wall. In this first courses, all the bricks are laid lengthwise, okay, and on top of it, the second course you can observe, if we go on placing one more stretcher on top of the first course, what happens? If we place one more stretcher in this particular place, what happens is vertical joints come one over the other. So that is why, in order to break the vertical joint, what we have done is, in the even courses, that is 2, 4, in the even courses we have placed the header facing brick. So in the coin place, the header facing brick is placed, okay. So next to header, again the stretcher facing brick is laid, and observe. So here what happens is, in the stretcher bond, all the odd courses remains same. See, for example, the first course as well as the third course resembles same, and the even courses, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 courses resembles the same. So come to the isometric view. Whatever we saw in elevation, that is front view of the wall, that is shown in the isometric view. So this is the isometric view, and here also we can observe this from this isometric view only we can find out this is stretcher bond, because we can observe here the stretcher, the length of the brick is placed to the face of the wall, okay. Just to break the verticality, what we have done is we have placed the header in the each alternate courses, okay. Okay, come to the plan now. Plan is the top view. When you view this particular isometric view from top, when you see the isometric view from top, we can write the plan. So here I have put all the odd and even courses also. So in the odd courses, you can observe this is the stretcher, and the stretcher we have placed, and one more stretcher we have placed here, and this is the brick. So here the stretcher facing has been, the stretcher facing bricks has been laid in the first courses, and in this angle also. So when you look from this angle also, the stretcher faces should appear. Since this is a stretcher bond, when you look from another angle also, the stretcher facing appearance is seen. So this is the odd courses. All 1, 3, 5, 7 courses will be the same. So coming to the even courses, just now I said for breaking the verticality, we are placing the header facing brick. Okay, so in the corner, in the coin place, what we have done is we have placed the header, and next to the header again, the stretcher facing bricks has been laid. Okay. Next type of bond is the header bond. So header bond means, okay, let's look into this picture. Just forget about the corner. So in the corner or common places, I'll explain it later. Header bond means you can observe here the header facing or the width of the brick is placed to the face of the wall. This is also the header facing. This is also the header facing. In this particular course, all the header facing bricks are laid. Again, come to the second course of brick. Again, here also they have placed the header facing. So header bond means bricks are laid as headers on the face of the wall. So width of the brick is along the, so here width of the brick is along the direction of the wall. And usually it is suitable for walls, which are 1 brick thick. Here you can observe this is the 1 brick thick wall. Okay. And in the next slide, I have put elevation also, same time plan also. Okay, this was the isometric view. So now we'll have a look into the elevation as well as the plan. So coming to the elevation, so since this is the header bond, header facing bricks has been laid in all the courses, but when it comes to the coins places, coin is what? External corner of the wall. When it comes to the coin places, so here just to break the verticality, we have used the bat. So we have discussed about various terms like we have discussed about bat, closure. So all these bat or closures can be utilized to break the vertical joints. So in header bond at the coin places, we will utilize the 3/4 bat. So alternate. So in the odd courses, in the all alternate courses, we have utilized the 3/4 bat, that is longer length of the brick is placed to the facing. When it comes to the 2/4/6, this is actually 1/3/5 course. So in the coins places, 3/4 bats are utilized in the header bond. Okay. Next type of bond is the English bond. So English bond means alternate course of headers and stretchers are laid. Okay, let's look into this picture. So this first course consists of the stretcher bond. Okay. In the second course, it consists of the only header course. Okay. Again, the third course is stretcher course. Again, the fourth one is this is the header facing has been laid. So English bond means alternate stretcher as well as alternate stretcher and header has been placed. Okay. For breaking here you can observe, for breaking the vertical joints, we have utilized queen closure. So queen, see what happens is, just now I said English bond means it is alternate stretcher and header. So first course I have placed stretcher. So on top of it, this is the header course now. So we can place 2 header here. What happens if we place 2 headers? If we place 2 headers, the joints will come one over the other. So to break that vertical joint, we are utilizing the queen closure. Next to the header course, we are utilizing the queen closure, and later the remaining, the rest of the course has been laid by the header facing. Okay, and English bond is one of the strongest bond, and it is suitable for all the wall thickness like 1 brick and 1.5 brick and 2 brick. This is the elevation of the English bond. Okay, just observe here. So English bond means we know it is alternate stretcher and header courses has been laid. Okay. So the first course is of stretcher facing. Second one is header facing. But just to break the verticality, what we have done is we have provided the queen closure. Instead of queen closure, if we provide this header in this place, what happens? This joint will come here. The lap cannot be provided. If we place header exactly next to the coin header, the vertical joints come over one over the other and lap cannot be created. Okay. So that is why to provide this lap, so to provide this lap, what we have done is we have utilized the queen closure. So just come into the third courses. Again, this is all of stretcher facing, and again on top of it the header courses has been laid, but for breaking verticality the queen closure is utilized. Okay, in this particular slide I have included both 1 brick thick as well as the 1.5 brick. Let's look into the 1 brick thick first. So probably you might have understood now. Stretcher course means probably just imagine 1, 3. So here let's imagine the 1, 3, 5. Okay, all odd courses are stretcher courses and all even courses are header courses. Okay, so English bond means alternate header and stretcher will be alternate header and stretcher will be placed. So in the first course we have placed the stretcher. So we have placed the stretcher here. Since it is a 1 brick thick wall, so since it's a 1 brick thick wall, again we need to add one more brick because this is only half brick. This is stretcher bond. If it is only half brick, then it is called, it is half brick thick. Since here this is the 1 brick thick wall, we need to keep the one more brick here. So in English bond, for breaking verticality, for breaking the vertical joints, we are utilizing the queen closure next to the coin header. Okay, and if you look from this angle also, this is the coin header, and next to coin header you are placing the queen closure. And again in the plan of the header courses also you can observe. So this was our first course, like this is a stretcher course and this was our first course. Okay, so since this is the English bond, alternate stretcher and header should be placed in the next course. You can observe on top of this course. So on top of this course, we are placing the header facing bricks. So next to the header, next to the coin header, queen closure is placed just to break the verticality, and all and rest of the courses is being laid with the header facing. This is the 1 brick thick English bond. Okay. Again in English bond only, like I said, English bond can, English bond is suitable for all wall thickness like 1 brick thick, 1.5 brick thick and 2 brick thick. So this is 20 centimeter wall and this is the 30 centimeter wall. Since it is 1.5 brick thick, it is 30 centimeter wall. So in this picture we'll start with the elevation. Like we know this is English bond means there should be a stretcher, alternate stretcher as well as alternate header, right? So what we have done here, so the first, like in the plan of the stretcher courses, the same thing we have placed the stretcher here. So after stretcher, what we have done is the queen closure is placed. Same time here to break the joints and to cover the joints, we have provided this is quarter bat, or it is half quarter queen closure. So quarter queen closure or quarter bat, both are same. Okay, so here, so the stretcher facing is finished, and when it comes to the header courses, after the stretcher courses, what we are doing is we are placing the header queen closure, and the rest of the courses is laid with the header courses. And to this is the face of the wall, and to the back what we are doing, since it's a 1.5 brick thick, since it is a 1.5 brick thick, here the bricks are laid with the stretcher wise. Okay, so this is the isometric view of English bond of 1.5 brick thick. This is an alternative arrangement because here we have utilized queen closure as well as the quarter bat or quarter queen closure. Here we have utilized the 3/4 bat. 3/4 bat means in a full brick thick, if we remove the quarter portion, then the remaining portion is called as the 3/4 bat. This is the 1 brick thick English bond. Here also you can observe. Let's imagine this is the first course and this is the second course. Since this is the English bond, so here the stretcher courses is being laid. So okay, so stretcher courses is being laid, and on top of this, what we need to do is we have placed the header course next to the header. Wherever the header courses come, wherever the header courses starts, that is coin header, next to the coin header, queen closure should be placed. This is the end of the wall. Okay, here also next to the coin header, queen closure is placed. And in the back we can observe, So this is the like imagine this is the AB line, and this AB line we have the facing is finished. We have done with the facing, and when it comes to the backing, since this is the 1.5 brick thick, since this is the 1.5 brick thick, this is only a 1 brick thick. That is why we have placed one more brick in the stretcher wise, so that it becomes 1.5 brick thick. Okay. Okay, when it comes to the next bond, that is Flemish bond. So Flemish bond means each course consists of alternate headers and stretchers. So just look into this picture. Flemish bond means each course. This is one course, this is second course, this is third course. So Flemish means each course consists of stretcher as well as header. Stretcher as well as header. So Flemish means each course consists of stretcher, alternate header. Okay. But every alternate course start with a header at the corner. So every alternate, for breaking the vertical joints, every alternate courses should start with a header at the corner. And for breaking the vertical, for breaking of vertical joints in the successive courses, so here closures are inserted. That is queen closures. Half queen closure has been inserted next to the coin header. Okay, and again next to the closure, because here already we have placed the header. So next to the, and if suppose instead of placing closure, if we place header next to the, if we place the stretcher next to the header itself, what happens is this joint will, this second course joint and the first course joint will come one over the other. So that is why what we have done is we have provided the closure. Okay, queen closure is provided. Next, stretcher facing is kept, and again header, stretcher, header, stretcher, header, stretcher. And in the next course, simply we have laid the stretcher courses, then header courses, stretcher courses and header courses. So only alternate header courses. Every alternate course start with a header at the corner, and next to the coin header, queen closures should be placed. Again, in Flemish bond, it is further divided into two different types, namely that is single Flemish bond and double Flemish bond. So in single Flemish bond means, let's discuss about double Flemish bond in the first. So we all know what is Flemish bond. So Flemish bond means what? In each courses, alternate header and alternate stretchers will be placed, right? So double Flemish bond means, here also just observe, stretcher has been placed. Next, this is header, stretcher. And the next course, so header has been placed and queen closure has been placed, and next stretcher, header. So double Flemish bond means each course, so each course presents the same appearance both in the front and back elevations. So in double Flemish bond, if you observe the elevation from front or from the facing also, it appears same. And if you observe the same wall from the back elevation also or from the backing also, it appears the same. So in double Flemish bond, both front elevation and back elevation remains same. So every course consists of headers and stretchers that is laid alternatively. And this double Flemish bond is the economical one, and it gives a better appearance, but it is weaker than English bond. Okay, coming to the one brick thick. Okay, again in English bond also, there is 1 brick thick, 1.5 brick thick and 2 brick thick. But in this particular session, we'll discuss only about 1 brick thick and 1.5 brick thick. So in this particular figure, this is the 1 brick thick. So since it is Flemish bond means, we know in each courses alternate stretcher and header should come. Okay, so let's imagine, this is the odd courses and this is the even courses. In the very first course, what we have done is we have placed the stretcher. So since this is Flemish, next to stretcher, what should come? Header should come. So header has been placed, stretcher, header, stretcher. Since this is the 1 brick thick, so we need to complete the thickness. Like So here the stretcher facing, the two stretchers has been placed to match this one brick thick. And after the first course, now it is even course. Exactly on top of this portion we are placing this course. So since here the stretcher has been placed on top of it, what we are doing, header is placing. So every alternate courses should start with the header. Okay, so every alternate courses should start with the header, and next to header queen closure should be placed. So here, since we are placing the header as the first brick, so next to the header we have to place stretcher. So next to stretcher header should be placed, and next to header stretcher should be placed. Okay. And this was the one brick thick figure. And in the next slide we will discuss about the 1.5 brick thick. And in 1.5 brick thick, the same procedure remains same. Like in each courses, stretcher will be there and header will be there. Stretcher will be there and header will be there. Okay. But like I said in the previous slides, queen closure, we are utilizing the queen closure for breaking the verticality, as well as here we are using the half bat also. Okay. Let's start with this double Flemish bond 1.5 brick thick. Since this is the Flemish bond, Flemish bond, what we are doing is the stretcher and header is being placed. So next to the header, queen closure should be, next to the coin header, queen closure should be placed. And here the 3/4 bat has been placed. Okay, here we have placed the 3/4 band, 3/4 bats to adjust the joint. And again in this particular 1.5 brick, what we have done is we have placed the stretcher, and exactly perpendicular this we have placed the one header. Again to this header facing, one more stretcher facing is placed. Again to this header facing, one more stretcher face is placed perpendicular. So in this center portion we are utilizing the half bat. So since we are utilizing bat portions here, this is the economical bond, but though it requires more mortar, this is the quite economical bond since we are using the brick portions, the cut portions we are using. So in the center, half brick bat is used. So on the whole, in the double Flemish bond, in 1.5 brick thick, we are using the queen closure as well as 3/4 boards as well as the half bat. Okay. Okay. After double Flemish bond, we'll discuss about the single Flemish bond. So in the double Flemish bond, I said both facing elevation as well as the backing elevation remains same. But what happens in single Flemish bond is this is a combination of English bond as well as the Flemish bond. Okay. So in English Flemish bond, what happens is when you look from the front, okay, that is facing consists of double Flemish bond. Okay, facing appears as if it is double Flemish bond, but the backing consists of the English bond in each courses. When you observe from front, the double Flemish bond pattern will appear, but the same wall when you observe or when you see from the backing, it appears as the English bond pattern can be seen. So on the whole, so single Flemish bond means it is a combination of double Flemish bond and Flemish bond. Sorry, double Flemish bond and English bond. And usually single Flemish bond, it is adopted only for the 1.5 brick thick. Okay, let's look into this picture, that is English Flemish bond. So here you can observe, since Flemish bond means we know alternate header and stretches should come in each courses. So similarly, this is imagine this is the first course and this is the second courses. Okay, this is the odd courses and this is the even courses. So in the odd courses, what we have done, we have placed okay, let's start with this only. Let's imagine this is the odd courses. We have placed the stretcher courses. Next to the stretcher, what we have done is we have placed the header. So next to the header, one more stretcher. So next to the stretcher, we have placed the half bat. Okay, so we have placed the half bat here, and since it is the 1.5 brick thick, this is this including mortar thickness, this is 100 mm, and that is why. So since it is 1.5 means it is 30 centimeter wall. This is 100 mm. So here we need to place the stretcher. So in single Flemish bond, we will utilize queen closure as well as half bat as well as 3/4 bat is utilized. Okay. Okay. In this isometric view, we can understand much better, what English bond pattern is. Okay. This is the course A and this is the course B. So course A, in course A, what we have done, header is placed, next to the header, closure is placed, and next to the closure, stretcher is placed, and header, stretcher, header, stretcher, header, and stretcher. So this is one brick. Okay. So exactly, to match this length, we have placed the two stretchers. So after the stretcher courses, exactly, side by side, we have placed the stretcher courses also. So this completes only one brick. Since single Flemish bond is utilized only for 1.5 brick thick, so one more, the half brick thick is, constructed here. So that is why I said, so observe here, this is the course A, this is the odd course. Okay, this is the facing and this is the backing. When you observe from front, you can observe header, stretcher, header, stretcher. That is why I said English Flemish bond means front facing appears as double Flemish bond and backing appears as English bond. Okay, so let's see the course B. So this was the course A, that is odd course. In the odd course, from the back side, you can observe the all the in this particular layer, only stretcher facing has been laid. But in the even courses or course B, on top of this, course B is being laid. So you can observe in the backing what we have done after stretcher on top of it, only header courses is seen. So that is why. So single Flemish bond means from the back, alternate header, alternate stretcher, and header can be seen in each courses. But from the front view, what happens is alternate, and in course B also, in course A also, you can observe header, stretcher, alternate header and stretcher is placed in each courses, and again in course B also, alternate stretcher and header, stretcher, header can be seen. So now we are into the end of the session. So in the end of the session, we'll have some test in the form of multiple choice question. So the brick laid with its length parallel to the face of a wall is known as, the brick laid with its length parallel to the face of a wall is known as stretcher, and the brick that is laid with its breadth parallel to the face of the wall is known as the header. So the portion of a brick cut across the width is called, the portion of a brick cut across the width is called bat. So the next MCQ question is, the piece of brick cut along the center of width in such a way that its length is equal to that of full brick. So the piece of brick cut along the center of width in such a way that its length is equal to that of full brick is called queen closure. So the portion of a brick with the cut made longitudinally, the portion of a brick with the cut made longitudinally is called closure. The toothing method is normally used when walls are to be, the toothing method is normally used when walls are to be extended. Which of the below should be avoided in brick masonry? Vertical joints. So So the portion of a standard brick made by cutting off the triangular piece between the center of one header and one stretcher face. That is king closure. So a brick whose one end is cut splayed for the full width is called mitred closure. So a brick in which the whole length of the brick is beveled for maintaining half width at one end and full width at the other. Beveled closure. So in the last slide, I have put the answers for the multiple choice questions. And this is the references section. So throughout my study material and for my PPT, I have utilized building construction as my reference section, and building construction by S.C. Rangwala, construction technology by H.S. Vishwanath. Then the other websites I have utilized as www.civilengineeringnotes.com and www.brickmailbox.net and www.civilengineeringx.com. And one more YouTube link also I have been put in the last. So we will wind up the session here, and we will meet in the next session. Thank you.